With Navi looming and RTX sinking in, last-gen parts are starting to become ultra affordable. Hey there, tech boys and girls. Welcome back to another computer build with JeffTechMedia. Today we went ahead and did a sub 400 build, 385 I believe. Now it is simple and a lot of the parts aren't flashy or fun. There's a couple that actually turned out really good. Got some sweet ass deals on it. You're not gonna get anything crazy, but you are gonna right now be able to play most things at 1080 with the modern AAA titles. But the big question is, how long will you be able to get that kind of performance and be able to play 60 frames at 1080 on the brand new AAAs like right now, Resident Evil, Anthem, Division 2. So we're gonna wildly speculate towards the end of the video how long you might really get that performance out of it. But we'll get into it. We'll look at the parts, we'll look at the benchmarks, and right after a word from our sponsor. So I ended up getting a couple really good deals on a couple of the things. Most of it's not very flashy. Most of it is new, but most of them were just the most basic, cheap, fill in here type items. But the CPU got a great deal, GPU was awesome, got a great deal. So let's go ahead and take a look at each of those parts, how much we spent for them, and then we can look at some of them performances. Obviously, the goal of the build was efficiency and value. I found the parts that are perfect, and certain components have gotten super affordable just recently. I tried to mostly buy brand new, but sometimes the use value is awesome and you gotta go for it. With this sexy little box, we stay quiet and we can run 1080 at 60 FPS and everything. Now with the newest titles, we did have to lower some settings, and that was looking about medium to high. The core of this system is the 1600, and it was only $55 with Micro Center's promotion of buying a motherboard also. I was able to overclock it a bit, and it was actually able to have about stock 2700 performance. The MSI 1063 gig was overclocked to around RX 580 speeds, and at only $110 from eBay, this was a sweet ass deal with a sweet ass cooler. I did have Anthem in here, but along with all their other problems, said it recorded and it's gone, so I blamed them for my terrible life.
Honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to start.
So after seeing the results that we got with the benchmarks, the newer AAA games, a lot of them are starting to get more VRAM intensive. So we're medium high, kind of right in that space, a little high, maybe a little lower on some aren't as intensive. Obviously your Apex and your Fortnite, like this thing is gonna last 2 years. Like those games are made for this computer in mind and even lower. So I think that you can expect to stay able to play at 1080p through the winter, through this next holiday season of 19. So maybe it's gonna last that long. The easiest thing though is that this is a card, the GTX cards, or even RTX, but the NVIDIA cards keep their value at a certain point. They're not gonna drop past, probably $100 for a long time, even for the 1063 gig. So even though that is a shortcoming right now, sell it, pick up a 1070, 1660 Ti is a great option. And then you're rocking for another, year and a half, 2 years probably. Is still like, they're not gonna wanna make it too intensive after that until kind of where we're at now with the new series of stuff coming in. So, I think it's perfectly reasonable to pick one of these up right now. It's fun to build. You just pick up little bits and pieces here and there, and you got yourself a little computer. Sell off the different parts is easy. Come back next week. We're gonna take 8 hot dogs and shove them up the tailpipe of my car. So you don't want to miss it.